Hello, welcome to the Q. It is KMT USA turn 18, January of 1945. And we're about to ask the impossible from our KMT troops. But before we get there, let's look at a little housekeeping maneuver here in the UK video. They were able to take Formosa with a Gurkha and then bounce back onto that transport, giving Formosa to the KMT. And by a stroke of luck, that transport also flipped to KMT, which I would have used gladly with my Marine in an assault. So anyway, what happened was there was an infantry on Formosa that Silk had moved, I guess, or bumped, and he thought it was with the Philippines, but it was actually here. So we had to use the wonderful PBE program to roll some dice. It did get a hit on turn 1, which extended the combat a second round. So what had originally survived in Rich's video was 2 fighters and the Gurkha. So the extra hit in round 1, and then the final hit in round 4, I think it was a fighter. So the net result is the FEC is left with a fighter. KMT does not get Formosa. The transport in port is back to Japanese. So that's what that looks like now, and this transport here is alone. Soon to be joined by an American one, if you can get to the picture there. All right, so I feel less than confident about our KMT attack here. But we are going to try and get all the necessary points to get to evolve to a major power. Because the British did not take Formosa, we can't evolve at the end of the KMT turn, but on the US turn, we can land there unopposed, give it to the KMT, and they will evolve at that point. So if we're successful, and like I said, my confidence level is low. So they had 6 to spend. They're going to buy 2 infantry. And let's look at what we're going to do for attacks. So first here in Hunan, we got the diamond task force marker. Defense is 2 infantry, 1 militia for Japan. So we'll put that out here. And attacking from Kwangtung is going to be 4 infantry and 2 artillery. So the 2 artillery, the 4 infantry. Notice I got my 10 dice there, so I remember, or at least I hope I remember about the retreat rule. We also have, coming from Szechuan, 2 cavalry, and they will come into Quichao first and then into Hunan. No, it doesn't. I think we'll just come across this border straight in with 1. That way they would retreat back to Szechuan. So all these would have to retreat to Kwangtung, but these 2 cavalry would have to go back to Szechuan. All right, so that is the Hunan battle. So let's take this other chip, put it over here, and put the cavalry. All right, so next up is the Clover. And what is... I can't tell what's the name of that. I don't remember. I think it's Hope. We'll pull off, there's 2 Japanese infantry, 1 anti-aircraft gun. So Clover battle. All right. Now we've got militia, motorized, medium armor, and a tank destroyer. And that's... Oh, let's make a big mess. All right, so we have a river in that battle. We have a river in the first battle. Let's look at what's coming in. So from Szechuan will be all 6 armor because I need to blitz into Peking there. So we got 6 armor. The good news is they do not retreat. All right, so we're going to take 2 artillery, 2 infantry. And those 2 infantry have the possibility of retreating. Oh, wait a minute. That's there. 2 artillery, 2 infantry, and then that 3rd cavalry from Szechuan is going in there as well. All right, so that is the attack. Almost. We do have 2 planes, the fighter and the tactical. We'll go into there with 1 and then blitz with the armor into Peking. That's the planned assault. The fighter is nothing, but we do have a target select with that and a target select with the tank destroyer. All right, so that is battle number. Well, that'll probably do the first battle. The defense here in Peking is 2 Marines, 2 infantry, and a militia. And they are in a city. I forgot to get out a little city marker. I'll have to dig one of those out so I don't forget. And this is artillery. All right. So the last battle is in Sensi, which is defended by 2 militia in the mountains. Is that 3 mountain and 2 infantry. And going in there from Szechuan will be 2 artillery, along with the 2 artillery from Singhai, for a total of 4 artillery. All right, from Szechuan itself is 4 infantry, and I'm going to keep those on the north side because they have to retreat to a different zone. Wait a minute, let's do them on the south because they're south on the map. Artillery doesn't retreat, so it doesn't matter. We have Singhai, a mountain, and 3 infantry. And those would have to retreat back to Singhai. All right, and we do have a fighter and a tactical coming from Kwangtung. 1, 2, what is that? 1, 2, 3. So they would have movement of 1 left. Target select and that. So the only oddity to this battle was this fighter, whether I brought it into here, which was Hope, but that anti-aircraft gun, they would get an extra dice. So the option was just to keep all the armor and use the 2 planes here to facilitate that attack. So those are our attacks. If we make it to Peking is the city, Bping is the territory. And then they'll have 1 left. All right, so that is that. The AA guns will stay. There's nothing to shoot at. Can't take them as a casualty. That should be it. Let's roll some dice for this great Chinese conquest. Okay, so wonder where I should roll that at. I guess I can roll it here. Once again, the U.S. Navy will be squished here a little bit. All right, so that is that. We're going to do, which attack is this first? Hope, which is the triangle, I believe. Nope, the club. There are, we do have 2 first strikes. No effect on the river, so those first 2 will be at 3. So 2 at 3. There's a 1 and a 12, so that's not too bad. So we're going to assume that the militia will be gone. All right, let me put them over here, get them out of the way. All right, so that means we're on to our regular attacks now. So we'll have 2 infantry, but because of the river, they'll be down to a 2. Is there a river there? Yes, there is. All right, so 2 at 2. Well, I got a 3. All right, next up will be the cavalry. Oh, that's a 2 as well. I should have just rolled that. That's a miss. All right, so now I've got the... Yeah, the fighter won't matter, so that will be 7. I got 6 armor, 6 medium armor, and a fighter, so that'll be 7. So there's 6, 7, right? 4, 7. All right, 7 at 6. All right, that is a damn fine roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 9. All right, so 5 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they have 6 units. So that means the target select of that tactical does no effect, because if it hits, then it's a clean sweep. So 7 or under for the tactical. Figures, you dirtbag. All right, so we are going to assume... Now here's the big assumption. You would lose all that for sure. The 2 infantry, the mech, the anti-aircraft gun. The last surviving unit, this will defend at a 6, this will defend at a 4. But this can get the armor. What to do? What to do? What to do? For my thought, well, you're going to get... You kind of have to choose before you roll. Because if Japan can wipe out these 3 guys, then you'd probably want that armor, because you're going to get artillery or the tanks. But if they fail, you might want this. But it seems like the right move is to take that tank destroyer and leave the armor to get a hit. Guess I should have asked, but I didn't know it was going to come down to this. That is a good point. The armor, it doesn't matter how many armor blitz, because they can bring those 2 planes. Unless they're not there. There's this damn thing. So I think the wise choice is to leave the armor, because it's defending at a 6 to get a hit. All right, so let's roll the stupid anti-aircraft gun first. So we got 2 planes. Where's the dice? All right, so where is all those dice I rolled? 2 at 3. Oh man, I survived. All right, so now we have 3 at 4, and I'll roll the tank destroyer separate. That's at a 4. There's 1 hit, so they get 1 hit. So I put that dice there. So here's the tank destroyer at a 4. So it takes a hit on the armor because it's target select. So I'm down to 5 armor. That's how it goes. And then we got the medium tank left at a 6, and it hits. So that is 2 hits, which will be the 2... no, it'll be 1 infantry and 1 cavalry, because I might be on the defense. All right, so that is that. So we got 1 unit left to get. We'll roll that tactical bomber, see if he hits. Of course he does. Didn't hit the last time. 6 back, and that's a 9. So it didn't matter if it was the tank destroyer or the tank, because a 9 is a miss either way. So that battle is over. So blitzing into B-Ping will be the 5 armor now. Thank you, tank destroyer. We have a tactical and a fighter that can blitz along with it. These 2, oh, I didn't see if he retreated. I even had the dice there. Okay. It doesn't affect the battle, because the battle was pretty much over in 1 round. But it does affect where this guy ends up. The 2 artillery will take the zone either way. Well, the tanks were there too. He may or may not be there. My mistake, again. All right, so blitzing. 2 infantry, 2 marines, 1 militia. And they are all boosted by the city, so I got to remember that. Yeah, the fort is not done, so just the city. All right, so target select from The tactical is a 1, 2, or a 3. Doesn't matter. Tactical's stinking. All right, so now we have 5, 6. 6 at 6. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So the militia, the 2 infantry, and the marine. So that's a no-brainer there. All right, so here's the damage. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 at 5, and 1 at 3. Here's the militia at a 3. That's a miss. And 4 at 5 is 1 hit. Yeah, 1 hit. So we'll lose 1 of these beautiful armors. So, oh man, making a mess. All right, so now there is 1 unit left, unfortunately. So there'll be 5 at 6 for the armor. There's 1, 2, 3 hits. And 1 at 5 for the marine. That's an 8, so that is that. So we do end up taking the 2, the Blitz territory. So Hope and Bping have fallen. Let's move on to this one, which is a little iffy. It is 2 artillery at first strike at 3. There's 1 hit. So we'll take off that militia. And then we've got, does everybody cross the river? Yes. So 2 at 2. So that'll be 4. That's how we'll do that. These 4 are at 2, and these 2 are at 1. 2 infantry being boosted by that artillery. So here's the 2 infantry at 1. So 1 retreats. So we're going to take 1 infantry back into Kwangtung. I remembered. Now I got to do, I have to roll those separate. So the 2 infantry boosted at 2. Nothing. 2 cavalry. 2, 2. That's it. That battle was over in 1 round. Huh. All right, so defending is just the 2 infantry at 4, and they get nothing. All right, so no one retreated, which was odd. So that will all be in, what is that? Hunan. All right, here it is, the final battle. Can China get the job done? We are in the mountains. So we have 4 artillery first strikes, and that is all at 2. Whoop, I got 5 dice in there. That would have been bad. All right, 4 at 2. Ah, boogers. We didn't get any first strikes. All right. So what do we got to do here? These 4 will be boosted, so they'll be at 2, and they would have to retreat back to Szechuan. All right, so there's 2 hits and no retreats. All right. Put those there. So the other side, we've got 3 infantry at 1. You know what? I probably should have boosted that mountain with the artillery. My bad. Nothing, but we have 1 retreat. So 1 of these infantry has to retreat back to Singhai. All right, what's left? We got the mountain at 2. Oh, dang it. I should have boosted. Well, it's okay. They got hits. All right, so I got a fighter at 6. There's a hit. And the tactical at a 7. And we want to target select on that one. Nope. Good thing the targets, or the tacticals, don't retreat. All right, so 3 hits. So that'll be 2 militia and an infantry. So let's roll the 2 militia at 2. Nothing. 2 infantry at 4. Nothing. And then we had 3 mountains at 5. And there's 2 hits. So we're going to lose, let's lose 1 from each pile, meaning I don't have to retreat back. I'll tell you what, let's just move 2 from this southern stack. Just for grins. I don't know why. That's just what I'm going to do. All right. Round 2. Still mountains. We have 4 artillery at 2. Nothing. I got 4 infantry at 2, but I got to do them 2 and 2. The southern 2 there. Oh, nuts. The northern 2. Nuts. Mountain at a 2. All right, fighter at a 6. That's a hit. Tactical at a 7. Doesn't really matter. Oh, it misses. So 1 hit, 1 infantry goes off. All right, so the defense is 1 infantry at 4 and 3 mountain at 5. And they get nothing. So good news, good news. All right, round 3. 4 artillery at 2. Nothing. That artillery's been stinking. All right, so I am going to boost this mountain this time because I don't know why I didn't do it at the beginning. So here's the mountain at 3. It didn't matter. So that means I got 3 infantry at 2, 1 at 1. So here's the southern 2. Better drop those. All right, nothing. So I've got 1 infantry. Let's just do this one. 1 infantry at 2 and 1 infantry at 1. All right, no retreats. I've got an armor at 6. It hits. Not an armor, a fighter. A tactical at a 7. 2 hits. There is 1 mountain left. Let's defend. 3 at 5. 2. So let's lose 1 from each side again. So I'll take 2 chips off. All right, now round 4, is it? Hopefully the artillery can end this. 4 at 2. Stinkers. All right, so we've got the mountain at 3. Nope. We've got our southern infantry at 2. That's a hit. That's it. For grins, oh yeah, we got to roll for that other one to see if he moves in. So the northern infantry, does he retreat? No. All right, so the fighter at 6, 7 for the tactical. Of course, it hits when it doesn't need to. Last defense for the Japanese is a mountain at 5, and he does hit. So I'm going to lose 1 of those infantry. I think we're going to lose... Well, it doesn't really matter because they didn't retreat, so they're all going in. So it doesn't matter which one I lose. All right. So that is it. The KMT were oddly successful after that disastrous attack last turn. So we have a fighter and attack with a movement of 1 left from Senshi, and they will land here with the 2 anti-aircraft guns in Szechuan. And same thing with the fighter and attack that went into the Ping. They will land here in Szechuan. All right, so now what does that do for us? Taking Senshi will be... Oh, let me get those dice out of the way since they've landed. Markers. All right, taking Senshi is 4 artillery, 1 mountain, 1 infantry. All right, what else is up? Taking, what's the diamond here? Hunan is going to be 3 infantry. Thank you. 2 cavalry. Two artillery. All right, taking the, or in the club territory, which was Hope. That will be left 1 infantry, 2 artillery. And then finally in Beiping, the fort is destroyed. It's too bad I can't build it, but I probably won't hold it anyway. We have 4 medium armor, although there's not much of a counterattack there in Beiping. It's going to have to bring up the transports, I guess. All right, so let's do some math. We're going to add these 4 roundels to the board. There is, what did I knock over there? Infantry. All right, so that is 2, 4, 6, 7. So that gives China 7. So they're going to go up to 11. And Japan will go down to 28. All right, so that means U.S. will pick that up. They'll evolve to a major power, and all will be well. At a very high cost, though, to the British. That's for sure. All right, I think that is it. Let's place our 2 units, which is these 2 guys. They will go here in Szechuan. Oh, I did have some movements. So this Marine is coming off Hainan, and he's going into, what is that, Kwangtung. All right, so Kwangtung is looking like that. Don't really need the card there. Probably should move it up there. I might do that later. All right, that is it. We've got our moves out of the way. Let's collect some cash, shall we? So 11 for China, or KMT. So let's take that off. Give them a 10 spot. That'll be 11. Once again, I'm looking way up here. So 11 plus the 2, so they'll have 13 to spend next turn. On to the U.S. turn. And we got a lot of debris here. I'll have to work around it. So they have 84 to spend. That's our end game roll. We've got a Lend-Lease fighter to FEC, a Lend-Lease infantry. We're going to start a heavy battleship. We've got an infantry upgrade and a militia. Infantry upgrade, 4 militia, 5 repairs to the port in Carolines. I think it's 5. We've got 2 not strategic, heavy, what is it? Advanced artillery, 2 heavy armor, destroyer, transport, or attack transport, and 1 jet fighter. And that equals our $84. Let's roll some tech. If we're lucky enough to get rockets. If we're lucky enough to get rockets, we get some free goods. So that's out there to get. So we need, we did add airborne doctrine, not that it matters this late in the game, but we need, what do we need? We need an orange, a blue, green, and a white. All right, so let's roll these. These are all 7s. And we got 2 hits, 2 misses. So blue and green. Blue. Could have used that like 16 turns ago. So radar and factories. And radar goes up to stage 3. Factories, the interesting thing here is I've been trying for this since I completed, I think my first one was Amphib Doctrine, or Improved Construction. Either one of those, it might have been the same turn. And since then, I've been rolling for factories every turn, and this is the first success. So that's depressing. All right, 8s, advanced subs, logistics. Probably neither one of these matter. Green and blue. 2 8s. I'll be darned. So advanced subs, logistics goes up 1. Advanced subs, I think, is new. Yeah. So we're going to need a marker there. All right, here it is. Moment of truth. 9 rockets. All right, so we just need... Dang it. I hate you. I hate you. All right, no free goods for the U.S. That also is no free, not free, but a victory objective. All right, so moving on to the U.S. turn. Move that over. I do have a couple attacks. Number 1 will be this transport, and I think I can just land this artillery that's in Maharashtra, and it would go 1, 2, 3, land in Formosa. We give it to KMT, and then we have to retreat back to our transport. So that is 2 more. So Japan goes down 2 more, and China goes up, and they evolve to a major power. So that gives us this, not Chinese Civil War. Why is it called Chinese Civil War, I wonder? I don't know. They evolved, so they get that. So I get, I don't know what I get, actually. It's the first time I've ever evolved China. And I didn't even look. Well, we can make that adjustment and give it an update on if Silton does a recap here after this, he can fill you all in on what happens with China. If I can't land that artillery, which I don't know why I couldn't because it's empty, we could always grab this infantry, which was going over to Java. So if that's the case, then the infantry is up here, and the artillery will just rail here to Malaya. So that's the if, then, or statement. All right, so next move is the next attack here. Oh, well, this strategic bomber is coming out of Siam, 1, 2, and I have a movement of 7 left. We're going to carpet bomb the southern island of the Philippines. The other attack is right here. We've got 4 subs coming out of P-22. 1, 2, 3, 4, because we have a sub base there, and they're going to convoy raid here in P-34 because we're out of range of all the bombers and fighters. All right, so we got convoy raiding, we have carpet bombing, and we have 1 more attack on this side of the board. The heavy strategic bomber out of Portugal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, have a movement of 2 left. He's going to carpet bomb. Oh, this actually moved. Oh, you know what? I just realized I hadn't updated the map from Britain other than their attack on Formosa. Oh, no, I did. I upgraded it. I haven't done Italy's. So I think this transport brought 2 more guys down, and that transport's in port. No effect on the attacks, though. We're going to carpet bomb Malta. That is the only attacks. Everything else is just strategic movements around the board. All right, so let's start with Malta. That'll be 5 dice at 2. All right. And curses. That's kind of a leaner. Nothing on Malta. All right, next one is 5 dice in the Philippines there, the southern Philippines. And there's a 1 hit. All right, so we'll take off an infantry, I'm sure, from Japan. Last one is our convoying, where we will try and steal money from Japan. All right, Japan is red, and the U.S. is green. We have, Japan does not have radar. All right, so here is sub number 1. So that would be 4, 6. That would be 4. So sub number 1 hits 4. Sub number 2 hits 2 more. So that's a complete 5. So I'm going to put that 5 marker there, and that is all. The other subs, doesn't matter what they were going to do. All right, so that's it for the attacks. Let's do some movement. Get our dice and stuff out of the way. Oh, you know what? We've got one more roll coming for this tray. One more roll. All right, so let's land our planes. This strategic heavy bomber here has 7 left. Comes out into P-51, right? Is that what I... Yeah, I had to go there to get around that carrier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it'll land on Wake. And we have a medium bomber that is here in Siam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will land on the Caroline Islands. So that one's out of the way. Those dice are out of the way. All right, so I didn't roll for that transport. It is a 10 or above. It goes to KMT. Nope. It did in the other version, but this version it's just sunk. Or scuttled, or however you want to look at that. All right, so the next moves, these other dice are not planes. We're going to try and help our sub out here to survive, or at least maybe take something down with it. So this destroyer that's in port in P-47 will come out 1, 2. So that'll help us out there in P-43. Try and interdict, or at least make it difficult for Japan. That's for a militia. These 2 subs in P-36 will slide down 1, 2 into P-46. The fleet here in P-29 is going to come over 2 into P-36. So there's our fleet marker. I'm going to leave the carrier back because it's going to do something different. Well, the carrier's not, the plane is. So the carrier will be there. I've got 2 battleships from P-22 that will come down. I'm going to get out a second marker here. All right. The 2 battleships in port in P-47 will come up 1, 2. This sub in P-22 will come down 1, 2. 1, 2, yeah. All right. The heavy battleship from P-25 at a naval base. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he comes in there to join the party. All right, so that leaves what ships? I've got a destroyer and a carrier in port in P-50. They'll come over 1, 2, 3, 4. The destroyer stays out. The carrier goes in port. And let's see how we're going to do our planes. What else? Oh, we got 2 subs up north we're moving. All right, so these 2 subs up here in P4. 1, 2, 3 into P-22. All right, I got a jet there to move. That transport is going to join. He's going to grab a Marine and a Mountain. Come down here to P-36. Drop them off on Wake. All right, so the jet and fighter that are on Wake, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they land on Caroline Islands. The jet that was in San Francisco, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, lands on Wake. The fighter that was on Midway, 1, 2, 3, and he lands on the carrier. That keeps that bomber from trying to bomb me. All right, the tactical that was in P-29, 1, 2, 3, 4. He also lands on Caroline Islands. We're going to leave this fighter there. Or, no, we're not. This fighter will go 1, 2, 3 on the wake, and the jet from San Francisco will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 onto the Marshall Islands. All right, so this port marker is done for the time being. All right, that marker is up there. Don't need any more. I think that is it for the Pacific. I'm going to place a militia and place a militia. That's what those markers are for. Over on the far side of the world, this heavy strategic bomber will come out of Malta. 1, 2 into Tunisia. Let's give him some help, shall we? This fighter's coming off the light carrier. 1, 2, 3 into Tunisia. The fighter from England, Northern England. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it lands on the light carrier. The two subs in A35 come down to A44. All right, so that marker's out of there. All right, let's go around to the other side of the world. Oh, I got a Marine in Tripoli heading over as well. And this guy with the train marker is railing from French Morocco into Tunisia, just in case. All right, so coming over here, we've got 2 destroyers in A17. 1, 2, 3, 4. They will go into A44 as well. All right, squeeze in there, people. All right, I've got 2 transports here in England. The AVtaK transport is just coming out of port. 1, 2, 3, and in port. We'll have those full when I place whatever it is I'm building there. I think it's heavy armor. This transport, I think, we'll leave it here. Just in case. Just in case. All right, so next we've got an air transport in northern England at an air base. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to grab an infantry and drop an infantry off in Gotland. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 back into northern England there. So the infantry grabs, he goes there. The infantry that was in Gotland goes up to Nordland. I'm going to leave, well, this fighter's actually coming back. This fighter will come from Nordland 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into northern England. All right. So I've got an airborne in northern England. I need an infantry. So one of these infantry will walk up to northern England just in case. That's what I want to move. One infantry will step out of London into northern England. The other artillery will go into London. So just a swap. Leaving our medium bomber, leaving our Americans in Nordland, and that should be it. These are all markers, all moved, all done. All right, so let's place some goods. And we'll roll our dice, and then we'll see what the end game or not, if the game ends. So, heavy battleship on stage 2. We've got a infantry and a fighter. So they come out of San Francisco. Well, you know what? They can come out from this side, from Washington, come around the Cape here. The fighter here goes into Maharashtra. Got an air base there. The Chinese infantry can come through the strait here because there's no ships and go into Kwangtung. Oh, and I just realized I didn't do a recap of the Chinese. Hopefully I remember to do that at the end. Hopefully it matters, actually. All right, so on the Europe side of the board is advanced artillery and 2 heavy tanks. We're also... How many militia are we placing up there? 2. 2 militia are going up there on the other side. So let's walk over here. We have a heavy armor here in Portugal. We'll put up here in northern England an advanced artillery. And then we'll have to walk around again. Sorry about that. I should have grabbed them when I was over here. So we got 2 militia, 1 in Goatland, 1 in Nordland, and in Nordland goes the other heavy armor. With, if you look at it, kind of has some tundra camouflage to it there. So, how exciting. All right, so the last units to place are on the Pacific side. We've got 2 militia. 1 is for the Caroline Islands, and 1 is for Java. All right, so we've got an infantry and militia upgrade. That will be on Wake. So we'll just put the infantry out. And then we're doing 1 upgrade, which will be here in San Francisco. So we'll get rid of that militia. Our final units here in San Francisco and Washington. Not Washington. This goes on that shipyard here in Midway off P-22. All right, so in San Francisco is an attack transport. It'd be nice if you saw it. And a heavy or advanced artillery. All right, so the jet fighter. Originally, I was planning on San Francisco. I'm starting to think New York, or not New York, Washington. What to do? I think we'll stick with our original plan. Let's not go on the fly here. All right, that is it. For our cash, we are down to 70, so that means we have 82. Only 82 to spend next turn. And let's roll the dice. All right, so 3 or under, the game ends. Well, that's it. All right, so didn't do much any good. I believe that's an Axis win. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Russia has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it doesn't end. I didn't know that. Let me count that again. They get 2 for this one, right? Because they have, they have Warsaw and Romania. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let me check they still have Keto Butai. They lost those. They never had those. So that is right. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 7-7, Axis and the Comintern. So it is a tie, so the game continues. The Allies have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a game where all 3 teams were within 1 point of each other at this point of the game. Usually there's one that's got a significant lead and one that's taken a beating. So the game will continue. Wow, that was pretty interesting. We could not have won by taking Normandy, but we could have, no, all that would have done was give Russia the win. So We're good. Next turn, that dice roll will be 4. So let's do a recap. And if I've got that total wrong, you'll probably get a correction video and the game will end. But I think that's right. So let's look at the board. So we'll have to include China. So San Francisco, jet, fighter, advanced artillery, and a attack transport. Militia in the Pacific Northwest and Alaska. A 2 Kiska is a militia, infantry, marine. Midway is infantry, 2 infantry, 1 militia, 1 anti-aircraft gun. In the C zone is 2 subs and a destroyer, which is P-22. Hawaii, infantry, militia. Marshall Islands, infantry, is that infantry? Yeah, infantry, militia, jet. In port is a carrier. P-47 C zone is a destroyer. P-46 C zone is 2 subs. On the Caroline Islands is an attack transport in port. This is repaired. On the island is a marine, militia, medium armor, fighter, jet, tactical bomber, and medium bomber. Up in Wake Island is a fighter, a strategic bomber, heavy strategic bomber, marine, militia, infantry, mountain. In the C zone in P-36 is 2 coastal subs, 1 fleet sub, 1 heavy battleship, 4 regular battleships, a carrier with a fighter. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heavy cruisers, 1, 2, 3, 4 light cruisers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 destroyers. C zone P-34 is 2 subs. P-43 is 1 destroyer, 1 sub. What is this C zone here? P-41 has a U.S. transport with a artillery. Java has an infantry militia. And the change will be is if that artillery can't make that amphib, then this infantry is on the transport, and that artillery is in Malaya. On to China. I forget the names of these sometimes. Hunan is 2 artillery, 2 cavalry, and 3 infantry. In Kwangtung, a marine, 2 infantry, a militia, an anti-aircraft gun. Yunnan, 4 militia, 2 militia in Quichao. Sichuan, 2 AA, 2 infantry, 1 militia, 2 tactical bombers, 2 fighters. Senshi is an mountain infantry, irregular infantry, 4 artillery. Hope 1 infantry, 2 artillery. Peking, 4 armor. And Qinghai infantry, 2 militia. I think that's it for China. Let's see, Africa, we did move things up. In Tunisia is 2 infantry, 1 marine, 1 heavy strategic bomber, 1 fighter. C zone A44 now is 5 subs, 2 coastal subs, 1 light carrier, 1 fighter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 destroyers, 1 light cruiser, 2 battleships, 1 heavy cruiser. In Portugal, 1 militia, 1 marine, 1 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 heavy tank, 2 transports in port. London, 1 infantry, 1 artillery. Southern England, 1 infantry, 1 artillery. Northern England, 1 infantry, 1 advanced artillery, 1 paratrooper, 1 air transport. And we're going to bring this guy over to Northern Ireland so he's out of range of aircraft. In Northern Ireland is a transport. Gotland is infantry and a militia. Nordland, 2 infantry, 1 mountain, 1 marine, 1 medium armor, 1 heavy armor, 1 militia. Nordland is 1 medium bomber, and I believe that's a wrap. So, longest video of the U.S. turn, but this part of the game, that's what happens. So we're on to turn 19. And we'll see if it's still at a tie at the end. I don't think it will be. So if the dice roll is valid next turn, the game will end. If not, we'll keep going. We should keep going until the Allies win anyway, right?